and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be just a regular reading vlog, nothing too special, no challenges yet. I'm still in the middle of the semester, so we don't have time for that. We are doing academic things and I hate it. I'm so ready to be done with school. I'm ready for summer and I'm just ready to graduate. I have about a year left. We're just gonna power through and we'll get through it together. That's the mindset I have right now, or that I'm trying to have. So I have some exciting plans to talk about that are coming up soon. So first of all, my birthday is coming up very soon. It is next week and I have a lot of birthday activities I'll be doing soon, which is very exciting, but it's just so busy. Like, I'm very grateful to have so many activities to do for my birthday. Like, that is very exciting for me, obviously. And I'm just glad I'll be able to spend it with the people I love. But it's also my 21st birthday, so I have some adulting things to do, more than just like buying alcohol for the first time and being able to drink it legally, but like other things, like I have to renew my license and all that boring stuff. But I am excited for the celebrations. So this weekend I'm celebrating with my boyfriend's family and then my family, and then on my actual birthday I'll celebrate with just like my parents and my brothers. And then next week I am going to karaoke with some friends, which is nice because I don't really hang out with many people. I tend to be very introverted. I'm literally like a hermit, so it's rare for me to like go out with people. But it's my 21st, so of course we're gonna go out. But I booked a karaoke room for a bunch of people, so I'm excited for that. And then next weekend, my boyfriend is like planning a day for us, and I'm so excited. So a lot of fun things happening in between school and work and the boring stuff. We won't talk about that as much. We're gonna talk about books and fun birthday things and fun life things. So tomorrow I'm actually hanging out with my friend. We are gonna go to a coffee shop and then go to a vintage flea market and then get lunch and stuff. I do have to work tomorrow night, which is really sad, but I'm glad I'll get to spend most of the day with her. That'll be really exciting. I'm going to talk about my reading plans, what I'm currently reading, what I would like to get to soon. I have a lot of books on my radar that I'm really excited for. I've been trying to prioritize my physical TBR because it's nearing 100 and I really want to cut it down before I go birthday book shopping, because of course I want to shop for books on my birthday. Like, that's the thing you do. So I want to try and cut down on my physical TBR before it gets really, really bad. A majority of my books are physical TBR already, so I want to get to a point where I'm actively unhauling books I've read and I don't want to hang on to, while also buying new books. Like, I don't want to buy more books than I'm reading, which I have done for the past little bit, so I kind of want to put that on pause if I can. But since it is an occasion, of course I'm going to buy books. Like, why not? So as for the books I'm currently reading, one of them is a library book, but the other is off my physical TBR, so I'll start with the library book, and that is Finding Eden by Mia Sheridan, and this is the second book in the Acadia duology, but the first book was Becoming Calder, and if you... Honestly, I don't know if I vlogged for that book. I can't remember. I think I did, but I don't know. I read the first book that I borrowed from a coworker like over winter break in like December, and it basically follows this guy named Calder who basically lives in a cult, and this girl named Eden is brought in as kind of like the prophecy, like she will save them all from the flood, and it's kind of weirdly biblical, but it's never like explicitly said. Anyways, these characters kind of have a forbidden love going on where Calder is of the working class and Eden is, of course, like, they're blessed ones. So like, she's very sheltered, but they fall in love in secret after making a trade where Eden will bring him art supplies and he will teach her like basic things like math and stuff that she doesn't, like, she's not allowed to learn. So this is the second book. There was a crazy ending to the first book, and I'm really excited to read more of this. I'm on page 32, so only like chapter 2. But so far we pick up right where we left off, and a lot has changed, and I'm really nervous to get through this because they're currently separated. It's scary, and I hope they end up together, but I rated the first book 4 stars, so I'm really hoping I love this because I honestly really am attached to the characters. Like, it's a lot of fun. By no means is it a perfect book, but it's a different type of romance, and it feels like they're actually in love. Like, it's not just a physical attraction. I really hate when romance books do that nowadays, so I'm really glad to find one where it seems like it's actual, real, true love. Next book I'm currently reading is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Very, very different from like a cute romance, but this is a sci-fi book. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of this. It follows the main character Darrow, who lives as a red in this kind of sci-fi dystopian world where there's like essentially a caste system based on color. So the top of the food chain is the golds, and Darrow is a red who lives on Mars, and he is a miner. He's called a hell diver, and he works in the mines getting this, I guess, mineral called helium-3, which helps Mars become livable and breathable for the people on Earth, or maybe not on Earth, on whatever planet the other people are on, to come to live on Mars, basically to colonize it. I'm still not that far into it, so I'm still learning a lot of the terminology, but so far it's really, really cool. I haven't read a sci-fi in so long. But of course, things change, things go crazy, because these people are basically enslaved, and it's just like really interesting to see the power struggle so far, and to see like how the world works, and all the different types of colors. It's really, really interesting. I've never read a book like this. So far, I'm absolutely loving it. It's so good, and I'm on page 92. I stopped in the middle of the chapter. I don't know why I did that. This is my book that I've been reading on the treadmill while I am at the gym, and it's been really, really fun. It makes me like feel like pumped up, like I'm gonna go into battle. So I'm really, really loving this. I'm really excited to continue, and this is yet another series that I'm starting, which is kind of bad because I'm in the middle of a lot of series, but it's really, really good so far, and I don't mind. Those are my 2 priority books for this next coming week. I might start a third one, but I'd like to make some decent progress in either of those before I commit to another book, especially because I'm still doing a lot of homework. The grind never stops on that. But I do have some books on my radar that I would like to get to soon. These are some books that like are old. Like I've owned them for a long time and I've never read them. And I really would like to read them because I'm still so curious on what I think. And I still can't believe I haven't read them, honestly. Okay, so there's 3 that like really come to mind when I think about books that I've owned for a long time and still haven't read, and honestly I think I bought 2 of these at the same time, so that's kind of bad of me. That is really bad of me. But this one is an audiobook option if I do need an audiobook. I've been listening to a podcast that me and my boyfriend love, where they discuss and like tell the creepypasta stories from Reddit. It's called Creepcast. Love it so much. Highly recommend if you like spooky things and like just fun internet horror. But I've been listening to that a lot instead of like music most of the time, but I want to get more into audiobooks again, because of course I need to knock out my physical TBR, and just I always need something to listen to like while I'm commuting and things. So one of the books is Lake's Edge by Linda Clipstone, and I think I got this from Books A Million a while ago, because it has the dot and those always do. But this is like a gothic type of like fantasy mystery spooky book, and I've always wanted to save it for October, but I'm kind of like in that vibe right now of like it's kind of Phantom of the Opera-esque, and I love Phantom of the Opera, so I feel like this will be interesting to read, and it's blurred by some authors I've heard of, which makes me curious to see if I actually do like it. And of course the cover's really pretty too. So I borrowed this on audiobook so I can potentially listen to it in between my podcast or something. But I just want to like knock it off my TBR. I just have had it for so long. I'm going to see what I think. And then the next one is Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. This is a young adult, I think, like fiction book. I don't think it's a romance because it's about 2 sisters. There's 2 sisters named Jane and June, and it says they're nothing alike until one of them gets cancer and they have to come together because the other sister is the only one who can help her. So it sounds really interesting, and I don't have a sister, but I'm curious to read about like what I assume is a really authentic and kind of heartbreaking sister scenario. Like it seems really intriguing to me, and the cover is so cool. I kind of love like the egg type of thing, and then it's cool because on the pages there are hands being held, and it's so cool when you like go like that. But yeah, I've had this for a long time and I've just never gotten to it, but I've always wanted to try out this author. And I feel like this type of book is something that I would like, where it's like sort of literary fiction, but about teenagers still. Like I feel like that is something to ease me into literary fiction, since normally I don't read it too much. But I've always been curious about it and wanted to try more of it. And the last book I've had in my mind for a long time recently, and just a long time in general, and I had hoped I would read it before it got popular, but it did get popular because some popular booktubers read it and they loved it, which made me want to read it even more. It really pushed me finally, and it's Lovely War by Julie Berry. I've owned this for like ages and I've still never gotten to it, but it's about World War I and II, so it's about both of them, and it's told I think from the perspective of Aphrodite, who's recounting it like on Mount Olympus, which is such an intriguing concept. Like that is so unique, and I'm so curious to see what I think about this. And I always love war stories. I think they're tragically beautiful in a way. Really have been pulled to read this recently. I think it would be so good, and it looks like the chapters are short, which is always a plus. So those are the 3 books that have been on my radar recently. I might pick one of them up soon, most likely Lake's Edge since they have the audiobook. But no promises on that, but I will get to them eventually sometime, because after I go book shopping, I will inevitably start one of the books I immediately bought and just neglect my entire physical CBR. That's just what happens. There's copyright music in the background. Here's my haul so far. Still want to try these on. Got this long
Find of the century right there.
denim dress. Hopefully that fits. That would be a steal. Kaylee picked out this top for me that I'll try on. I think it's very cute. Oh, I've been holding this for so long it's all wrinkly. But this is the little like silk scarf I found. And then I have 2 skirts. I'll probably decide on one. I feel like I won't get both, but one flowy one. And then a denim skirt. That's what I've got so far. But we'll keep looking.
We're on the hunt.
Who knows what we'll find? But this is very fun. Now we're in the book room.
Freaking butter dishes in front
Yeah,
of us?
there are butter dishes and like miniature forks. But yeah, we're gonna keep searching. Hey everyone, I have a little update for you. It's really small because I have not been reading that much since my 21st birthday was yesterday. I wanted to vlog, but honestly I didn't have any time to. It was a really busy day, but it was really fun. I will show you some pictures here. But I had a short reading update to give you, and that is that I have made a lot of progress in Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I'm up to chapter 21, which is page 153, so I'm pretty much about halfway through. I'm really loving this. It is kind of confusing still. At some parts I am like still really lost and trying to like understand how the world works and like the politics and kind of like the system that the main character Darrow is going into. He's basically infiltrating like the highest caste system, which is the golds, and he was a red, which is like the lowest of the lows, so he's kind of like having to pose as a gold, and it's really interesting, but it's also like heartbreaking. Like there was just a scene, which I won't say anything, I don't want to spoil anything, but oh my gosh, it was gut-wrenching. I was reading it last night and I was like oh, that's, I don't want to end on that note, so I had to like read another chapter or 2 because I couldn't end with that. It was just really heavy, but it's really good. The writing is amazing, and I'm loving like the atmosphere and kind of like how the politics are based off kind of like the Romans, I would assume, or like Greeks and Romans, like real life history. It's really cool, so I'm excited to keep reading this. Hopefully finish it this week. That'd be really great. I did also pick up a book from the library that I had been wanting to read, and that is Memorials by Richard Chismar? I don't really know how to say that. But this is about 3 students who are doing a project on like roadside memorials, and they're traveling through Appalachia, and I think some supernatural spooky stuff happens. So I was curious to see what this would be like, and I kind of told myself to like not borrow any library books for some time because I need to focus on my physical TBR. But this one came in and I was really looking forward to reading it, and I did start this the other day. I only got up to page 35, and I did kind of fall asleep while reading, but I read it before I went to school, so it was just a little bit of reading I can do, and so far it's really, really well written. I think it's a really interesting format. We kind of get like snippets of like descriptions of what the video looks like and what we see through the camera. It's really fun so far. I haven't made any more progress in finding Eden. Don't talk about it. So that's all I have for now. I have a busy day planned, but hopefully tomorrow I can update you more, and then this weekend I have more fun birthday stuff going on, so I will definitely talk to you more then. Hey guys, my boyfriend's currently pumping gas for me in my car, but we just got some boba, which we've already drank, and I'm filming on my phone, so sorry if this isn't like the best quality, but we did go to a bookstore because I had some birthday money I wanted to spend, and I was really hungover yesterday, so I kind of wanted to treat myself to some books because it was just my 21st birthday. So I got 2, mainly because they were really expensive, and I didn't want to spend too much, but also because I'm supposed to hang out with my friend soon and we're gonna go book shopping then, so I'll save most of that for when I see her. But I got 2 books that I've been wanting for a long time, so apologies that these covers are going to be backwards, but I've got The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzan and Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've really wanted to read these for a long time, especially because I finished The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo in January, and I loved that book, so I really wanted to get to this one, and then I've been having my eye on this one for such a long time, especially because the cover is so pretty and there's beautiful sprayed edges too. Like, isn't that gorgeous? So yeah, those are the ones I got, and we've been having a very lazy but fun weekend, so I'm gonna get to reading so I can get to those soon. Welcome back. It's been a little bit since I've updated. I've had a crazy weekend. Birthday stuff really amped up, but it was so much fun. I did get really hungover, but it was really fun. I went out to karaoke with a lot of my friends, and we had a really good time, and then I had dinner with my boyfriend on Saturday night. We went out to have dinner, and then on Sunday night we cooked a dinner together. It was really fun, actually. It's currently Monday, so I'm going to wrap up this vlog here and start a new one, which will hopefully be like a themed, fun reading vlog. I feel like I just do regular weekly reading vlogs, but I've really been struggling to do them recently just because of my schedule. It's always been so packed that when I do have a moment to like do something, I don't really read. Like I want to, but when I do read, I just can't comprehend. Like, I've really been having a lot of issues focusing recently, and I think it's just because of school and everything else going on, and then having my birthday this past week just has kind of, you know, been a disruption, but like a good disruption. Like, it's been fun. Everything that I've been doing has been fun. I've still been trying to read amidst everything, but you know, it's midterm season right now, so I'm kind of having to finish up exams and papers and just like the last things before spring break next week. But hopefully I will be able to do something fun over spring break and vlog it for you. That'd be nice. Start with a reading update, and that is that I am really enjoying Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I'm still about halfway through. I'm on page 175, and really I've just been reading this on the treadmill. Like, I'll go to the gym and I'll lift my weights, and then I will walk and read this for as long as I can, and it's really good. I'm still having issues like kind of understanding the world building a bit. Like, I think it's written very well, and I think it's very unique, but I'm just having issues kind of like understanding the lingo still. But I think that's just like my own fault. Like, I don't think it's the book's fault. I think it's just that I've been reading this so sporadically that it's been hard to follow along sometimes, but I'm still really enjoying it. It's a great concept, and I'm really curious to see like what's gonna happen, because right now the main character Darrow is in this kind of like almost Hunger Games style like school thing. Like, he's in this kind of like, I wouldn't call it a university, but like they're in teams, in houses, and they're kind of having to like fight against these other houses, but they're all like not necessarily like cadets, like I wouldn't call them that. I also wouldn't call them students. They're just kind of like competing to like win. That's not the best explanation, but that's all I can do right now. But yeah, I'm really excited to finish this, hopefully soon. I'd like to finish it in March. I'd hoped I would finish it in February, but it ended up being really busy for me. But that is a series I'm also excited to continue because so far it's really good, and I won't say no to another series. I should, but I won't. And then I did say earlier in this vlog that I started reading Finding Eden by Mia Sheridan, and I have not touched this since I told you about it. Genuinely, I have not touched it. I'm still in chapter 2. Oh my gosh, chapter 2 is so much worse than I thought it was. But this is a library hold, and I've renewed this hold like multiple times. I'm gonna get to it when I get to it. I'll hold on to it as long as I need, honestly. I just need to finish it. And then I'm still reading Memorials by Richard Chismer. This is a newer one that I picked up from the library, and I am where I left off on page 35. I just haven't really gotten the chance to pick it up since I last talked to you. But I am happy to say that I did randomly decide to start 2 audiobooks. And the reason I did 2 is because I wasn't sure which one I was in the mood for. And so far I've made the most progress with Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. I don't really know exactly how far I am in this. I think I'm about 25% through, and I just started it, I think, this morning, actually. So I've been reading it pretty quickly. It's just nice to have on, like, while I'm driving, because I drive a lot. So instead of, like, listening to music or to, like, a podcast or something, I've been listening to an audiobook just because I'm, like, I really need to push myself to get through my physical TBR, and I'm going to start this thing where if I read it and I'm not enjoying it about, like, halfway through or something, I'll just get rid of it. I'll DNF it. I don't care. I'm trying to prioritize like the quality of the books I read over the quantity, and I feel like I've been hanging on to so many unnecessary books on my physical TBR that I'm not as excited about, when I could be buying the ones I am really excited about and that I know I will love, instead of ones I'm just like kind of iffy on. That's why I use the library so much, is because I'll get a book from there if I'm really not sure if I'll love it too much. You know, it might surprise me and then I might buy a physical copy, but like I feel like I need to keep that up. But first I need to get through the ones that I have bought that I wasn't sure about. And one of those is Sky in the Deep. I got this as like a used copy somewhere. I can't remember. And so far it's just okay. It follows what seems to be like a Viking clan, and the main character Elin, her brother, had like basically was thought to be dead, and then they're fighting their enemy clan one day, and she sees him there, like he's fighting in the battle, and he saves her from getting killed. And so now she's currently being kind of kidnapped by that clan and like held hostage by her brother, but nobody knows it. It's really interesting. I just can't really connect, but I am going to try and hold out because there's a romance brewing, and I feel like that has enough tension to like get me through it, but also I just don't really care about the characters too much. So I am kind of half and half on this right now, but I did start reading it. So that is a book I'm currently reading as well. And then I also started listening to Lake's Edge by Linda Clipstone, and I do think I mentioned this in another clip of a book I had on my radar. And this, I think I only listened to like 2 chapters. It's a bit slower to get into than Sky in the Deep. But so far the atmosphere is really good. I really enjoy the writing style from what I'm like gathering about the story through audio format. I think it's really interesting. It's kind of like in this small kind of gothic village almost. And the main character, Violetta, her brother, is kind of like, has shadow nightmares in a way. That's the best way to explain it. And then she just met I don't know his title, but like he's the guy who like runs the town basically, and he supposedly like murdered his family or something. And he's really mysterious, and he's called like the monster or something. And I'm just kind of confused on where it's gonna go. Like I'm really confused on what the plot is. But the writing's really interesting, so potentially I will also continue this. Honestly, I feel really disconnected from a lot of things right now, so I'm trying to get back on track, and I would not like to be reading 5 books right now. I would like to just be reading 1 or 2, especially with all the schoolwork I have to do. So hopefully I can finish a couple and just get my blinders on. Like I feel like I'm going in all different directions right now. But yesterday I did go book shopping. As you saw, I did get 2 new books, which were Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid and The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. I'm so sorry, I don't think that's right, but that's what I'm gonna say. And I still can't get over how pretty this book is. Like, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. I've been wanting this for so long, so I finally decided to treat myself to it. It's so beautiful, and hopefully I can get to it soon. Honestly, I don't know if I will. I've been trying to pick up older books on my physical TBR than the newer ones I get, but it's just so beautiful, and I've been wanting to read that for so long. And then same thing with Daisy Jones and the Six. Ever since I read Evelyn Hugo, I've been dying to pick this up. I'm so excited for it. But that's all the book shopping I did for now. I am planning to hang out with my friend Haley soon and buy more books, which I shouldn't do, but you know, I never really see her, and plus it was just my birthday, so I should treat myself, you know. So before I end this vlog, I thought it'd be fun to find a spot for my new friends. I don't really know where these are gonna go, but we will find out. Honestly, as I keep reading, I'm gonna have to move those around again. Like, there's too much going on my shelves right now. Anyways, that is all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I apologize that it was kind of chaotic, but my next video should be really exciting. I'm trying to do a kind of TBR takedown style vlog next time and focusing on my physical TBR, so we will see where that goes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.